Hey guys, welcome to Myteam Misfits, the brand new series that I decided to make. It's NBA 2K16 My Team. We're digging deep, using all the strategies, all the MT tips, tricks, real life basketball tip, tricks, anything to show you guys how to play the game without having the top names or the top players or anything like that. Just using our prowess and our determination to pull together something. And maybe you guys have some of these cards, some of these players that you've just never seen or never decided to use because you're like, these guys aren't that great. We're going to use them and you're going to be like, wow, I never noticed you could do this or you could have this and it would work. And with that being said, this is what this is about. If you've ever seen 2BG, Two Brothers Gaming, Robbie, who he did this, he is the origin, the master, the reason behind it with Budget Ballers. If you haven't ever seen it, I'll leave a link to their description, or I'll leave a link down below in the description of their thing, of their channel, and you guys can see why I decided to do this. It's great. He's full of information and tips, and that's how I want to be. I want to show you guys how to make the game easy on yourselves. So we start off by getting ourselves a little pack, which it's not shown yet. The pack is your starter pack. You get about 12 to 14 bronze players, and you get yourself one silver player. Well, we decided to get ourselves the 76ers pack. I scrolled through, looked around a little bit. I was deciding what team I would want, but I decided after a long process of elimination that the best idea would probably be the 76ers. They have 3 centers, and all 3 of them are top tier for silver, and they're great. They can rebound, play defense, shoot, do all those things, and they're lengthy. And if I could have a chance to pull any of them, it'd be perfect. So I go ahead and decide to pick it, and we open up the pack. We're starting to get some of these other players, and in just a second, you guys are going to actually see who we get. I'm happy with them, so we'll be there in just a second. Hold on. Alright, so this is where we actually get him. We got Jahlil Okafor. That's exactly who I wanted. Otherwise, Nerlens Noel would have been great. We're going to go ahead and open up the rest of these packs, get the rest of these players, kind of get ourselves situated. The rest of it's not too important, but, you know, players are players. I don't mind. And then we just kind of wait here for a few seconds, and boom, we get to pick our name. Alright, so we're just naming ourselves like Chump Change or something. I don't know. I was kind of just trying to pump something there out fast. I didn't want to waste too much time on it because I was like, okay, we got to get this rolling. We got to get it going. We have to show you guys the specialties, using the auction block, using good players, strategies, real life things that don't require just holding down the shoot button for a dunk every time. So we actually have a reward, which is our little extra 2K pack we get for starting the game, basically. It comes with a few bronze players and some things like that. If you wanted some extra MT, you can get it through that. I held on to the players just in case of injuries and things, and that's a good idea. We have an injury card there, a contract, and then some other guys. But other than that, that was it. Alright, so right about now, we go ahead and show you guys Jahlil Okafor. I wanted to show you why he's so useful and why he's, in my opinion, the best out of the 3 silver centers that you can actually get from the 76ers. He's a 6'11", solid guy. He's got great post ratings for his tier. Solid defender, solid rebounder. He's got a little jump shot, which is good too. He's not going to turn the ball over a million times. Overall, just a solid center, and that's what you need early on. Just somebody who can outmatch the rest of them. He's athletic, he can do those things. Then we go ahead and show you the lineup, and I will be right back with it. Alright guys, so for the daily tip, I wanted to talk about double teaming, which is L1 or LB depending on what you're using, Xbox or PlayStation. Basically what it does is when you're defending, you draw another defender over, and that defender will come smother the ball handler. And against the 76ers, which is actually the first team you do on domination, it will kill them because they don't have any great ball handlers, and it's such a useful move for getting the other team to turn the ball over, or a forced turnover, which is great if you can't play defense. We go ahead and start off with Phil Pressey, who is actually our point guard. We have him for defensive reasons. Other than that, not really a big player. He's not going to score for us, but he's going to pass the ball and play pretty good defense. Nick Stauskas, he's a shooter. He can drive to the lane. He'll get to the basket and he'll finish for us, hopefully get us a few free throws, which is good. It's what we need. We got Jeremy Grant to finish hard and get to that rim, draw some fouls, and do some damage. That is exactly what I wanted out of him. Rashard Lewis Not a superior player. I didn't have a better option, but I decided to start with him because he's a good pivotal player. He can pass out of the post. He can do what he needs to do. He's not going to score, not going to play defense. He's going to be average due to his length, but he's just he's not going to be a turnover machine, which is what we really, really need this early on. And then Jahlil Okafor, our centerpiece, our masterpiece, whatever you want to call him, he does everything for us. He's a great rebounder, great defender. He can shoot the ball. He can finish. He's going to be that main guy that we're going to need throughout these early games. And we will get back to you in a second with some actual gameplay. Alright guys, so as we're getting into this, I want to throw on my tendencies. For this matchup, you want to change it up depending on what you're doing, but for this one in particular, I wanted to just crash the boards on both ends. Get ourselves to protect the paint because they can't really shoot, and then on the other end, attack the basket because they can't really play great defense either. It's an outmatch. It's 76ers. Nobody should have a problem with it. You only need about 600 MT per game without the extra added bonus at the end to get everything you need. You need about 850 for domination and then about 900 for historic domination, and this should be more than enough. If you're doing it this way, you need about 150 per quarter in order to get that threshold, and it's not too hard. Just keep the pace rolling. So we'll be back to you with our first clip, and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. 1 second, guys. Alright guys, for the first shot here, you see we pass the ball, we waste no time getting it up the court. We see a cutter, passes straight up, and he throws it down, and that's exactly how you want to play. You want to play the passing lanes, move the ball up at all times, don't let it drag behind. Now for the next one. Alright, so now they're running up court, and you can kind of see us setting our defense, getting it ready, trying to cut off. He can't shoot, so we grab that rebound, pass it up, and we're running up the court, passing the ball. You want to pass the ball, keep passing it, we take it to a finisher, and he gets it. That's how you want to do it. If you can't get that, you'll most likely get the foul. Alright, so now they're back on offense, they're running the ball up, and I'm going to show you the first double team. So we got him, we're trapping him, and I believe they get the ball back, but that's exactly how you want to play defense. Get him to the edge and kind of push that ball out of the way, make them uncomfortable. That is the perfect way to stop it defensively. Alright, so here we are back on defense, and we're kind of just trying to push that ball. We don't want it to get up. Hands up defense, makes a miss. Perfect. We got the ball back, and we're running up the floor. Here we are. We're trying to move that ball. Like I said, keep passing it to the open person. We drive with him. He actually loses the ball, but he picks it up and slams it down, so I had to show you guys that. Even though it might have seemed like a mess up, it still worked perfectly. Alright, so now we've got the ball back up the floor. We pass it to Jahlil Okafor. He pumps it, and now we got a one-on-one situation. We shoot, foul, and get the points. That's how you got to do it. You see the pump fake. We're driving in, one hard dribble towards the defender, and push off away. He draws too much contact, and that is why we have him. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So now you see we're coming off of a made shot. We're passing that ball, sprinting towards the bucket because we don't want to waste any time. Nobody comes to defend, so we're driving. We actually end up getting fouled and the bucket. Easy points. Easy way to increase your score and get those 10 free throws that you need. Alright, so now you see us passing the ball up again. Risky pass, almost a turnover. We ended up getting at the three-point line. Nobody comes to defend. We knocked down the three because remember, we need at least 5 three-point attempts. So that was perfect. And to make one, beauty. Alright, so the second quarter starts, and immediately we're trying to get a turnover. We actually get a clean steal, rip it, run to the other end, and the little guy slams it down, and that is amazing defense. That is how you're supposed to play defensively. So we get the ball up again, pass it to the big guy. Big guy brings it in, pump fakes, and finishes with contact. That's how you're supposed to do it. If you don't have a great big man to finish down low, get him the ball, pump fake. Most times they'll jump for it, and then you get that foul and an easy bucket. So here you see the offense bringing up the ball, and we get a steal with the big man, so we're running it up. Perfect. You see the guy on that left, he's wide open for the slam, and that is why we have him. Drive to the lane, get the buckets for us. Nick Stauskas can do it, man. Alright, so now we got ourselves an open court. We're trying to get open, so we call a screen for the big man, draw it, and you see right there the big man's wide open, throws it down over him, and that is great. That is pick and roll excellency. Get your Jahlil Okafor or whoever else you can get to throw down the big jam every once in a while. Okay, so now we're going up the court. We stop, wait for an open look. We see somebody moving. Always want to pass to a moving guy. Get such good positioning down low that we have to pass the ball, and he pumps and gets it in. Easy bucket after the pump. Nobody can stop it. It's just wide open right there for you after you draw that foul. Okay, guys, so now you see that we're playing defense. We draw another man for the double team. He passes. We almost get the steal, knock it right out of bounds, but he picks it up. Tom's running down on the shot clock. We're playing fantastic defense to shut him down. He passes up and passes back because, again, there's no shot. Ends up having to force a bad shot. That is the power of double teams, ladies and gentlemen. It's beautiful, and it's so satisfying to see somebody mess up like that. Okay, so in this clip now we're walking around, trying to get it to a big man. That's the desirable thing for me. We get the ball, we're driving to the basket, he's overpowering, oversized, and the drive ends up with a foul and a bucket. That's exactly how you do it. Take it to the rim when you have the size advantage like that. Okay, so now we're back on defense again. We're kind of waiting out our options. We're trying to push again. That's what I wanted to do. That's a desirable act. We're playing defense here. They're having to pass. They can't actually get it in. And all of a sudden, you look here, we're just still pushing them, running down that clock, and we get the steal. He wasn't paying attention. Now we pass it, and you think we might shoot it, well, we're passing it again to get to the big man. That was beautiful. Nobody would have ever seen that coming because Nick Soskis is a good shooter, but that's an even better play. Alright, I see the one-on-one opportunity with Jaleel Okafor. Take it down. We're trying to do that pound dribble, but pump fake this time. We actually get the foul, and then I'm going to go ahead and actually check how many free throws I'm at just to make sure, because again, you need 10 if you're going to get the bonus for that, and that is huge for this. So we're on our way, and he gets another 2 free throws. Perfect. And this is exactly how you want to run offense when in the half court. Okay, so now we're getting the ball back. I'm trying to rush for one last play right before the game ends. Just an attempt to score, and we got it. Just a little slide through the defense, and the little guy slammed it down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play. They're going to try and run with the clock the rest of the game, but I'm just going to shut them down as much as possible. They actually almost got it, but the rebound comes to us. We got the ball. We're gathering, and we shoot just for fun. Just to let it go at the end, and no good. But that's fine. The game came close. There were times when they were actually coming back, which is surprising because they're the 76ers. But in the end, 77-63, it worked really well, and that's how we played. That is how I play every single game. Just hard-nosed, 855 MT, perfect, no issues. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't get more simple than this. And you look at how our guys did. Jaleel Okafor did pretty decent the way we wanted him to. Stauskas did his thing. Grant did his thing. Marjanovic came off the bench, actually really helped. You can see there, Pressey, 13 assists, did fantastic, except for his 7 turnovers. That is one thing I had to work on. I didn't know how to use these players, but the more you work with them, the better they're going to get. And you want to pass the ball. 7 turnovers is bad, but 13 assists makes up for it. That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio in assist to turnover. And that's 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratios is exactly what you want. That's perfect. That's how it works. That's good enough. And the player we will get from the pack, we got 3. 2 of which is a logo and a jersey, not much, but then you get the player pack, which is what everybody does this for. We get Isaiah Cannon. That's not exactly what I wanted. The jerseys were nice. I wanted the other, maybe Nerlens Noel and Joel Embiid, but Isaiah Cannon works fine. And we're going to send the rest of this stuff here. I want to send it to auctions. We don't want to waste anything. Actually, no, I don't send it to auctions. I want to use these on things. Brick wall. The reason I want a brick wall is so I could find a big man to set picks, because I love setting picks and getting by. Those screens help our guards finish. I decided Jaleel Okafor was setting a lot of picks. And I was like, okay, well, if he sets stronger picks, that means more opportunity for us to get there. So I go ahead and I apply it to him, and then hopefully he will be able to work better with our pick and roll or pick and pop or pick and drive system, you know. With this, you have your King of Euros. We don't really do Euro steps in this. This isn't really a flashy gameplay, so I send it to the auction block. We don't need it, but we could get about 250 for it. And then afterwards, I'm looking for anything else. Couldn't find anything else to sell or get rid of. You know, that's fine. It's not a big deal. We're just trying to scrap together that extra MT. And we go ahead and look at Isaiah Cannon. Isaiah Cannon, he is a 72 overall, 6-foot guard, not much taller or larger in size than Phil Pressey. So starting him over Phil Pressey was kind of an issue for me. I was not sold on it completely, but I looked at Phil Pressey, I compared their stats. Okay, so you can see I go ahead in here and switch out Isaiah Cannon so we can kind of see what he's better and worse at. That way be a little bit easier to compare. And we're going through that motion again, not too much, just kind of giving you guys another second, because at the time of the recording I wasn't sure whether I wanted to. But we look, and he's obviously a better shooter right off the bat. Plus 14 free throw, he can shoot the ball much better. Plus 12 standing shot three. Offensively, he is what we need, because I'm going to need a point guard to come off those screens and score. Defensively, we're going to lose a little bit. He's more athletic, a little bit better of a scorer, better shooter, but again, he's lacking defensively, which was a big issue for me. I was wondering, should I keep Phil Pressey or should I go ahead and put Isaiah into the starting lineup? And I decided Isaiah should be starting, because we need the offense. Defensively, we will play good defense. He's not a great defender, but we can still play good defense, and that's the biggest thing. So we're looking for a new spot. We slide Phil Pressey in there. He will get his game. He will get his time. No worries about it. Don't you forget that. Okay, so we go into the auction block, and we're putting up our things. Right now, I'm just going to list both of these for about $250. There's not a big reason. I think I actually go 300 on that. Sorry. There's not a big chunk of change you can make out of that, so I was like, alright, the extra money counts. And then we were kind of looking around. I decided, let's see what we can afford. So I throw in a decent price for about how much we have, and I want to see, can we find any cool cards that could possibly flip. I didn't want to go for current too much, because I was like, there's not going to be too much you can get out of there accidentally messing around clicking bronze and things like that. I was looking for some solid players right off the bat that we could use. Gold players. Couldn't find any gold players that I really liked. All these guys can be used, no doubt about it. But for the price, we don't need it. I saw Serge Ibaka, and I'm thinking in my head, he's a good player. He could definitely be put to use if I wanted to. Vucevic is good, and at first I only saw one of the Serge Ibakas, and I was like, okay, I might actually have to pick him up. But then I saw another one, and I'm like, alright, we don't need him. He's not that valuable if there's another one on the block. Goran Dragic again. I was looking, just trying to see if we could either A, snipe something, or B, maybe find a lucky pull and somebody who could be very, very useful for our team. And I looked for the cheapest golds, and couldn't find anything. So then we go ahead and we look for historics, trying to again see the price range, see if there's anybody either pretty useful or somebody who can snipe or flip, for that extra MT profit. And I couldn't find anybody, and then we were deciding, I want to go to dynamic rating, see if there's anything there. Nothing was there. So then we're going back to Throwback Thursday. I want to see, because Throwback Thursday has some fantastic cards. A lot of people are throwing away the idea that these silvers are useful, but there's so many good ones. There's a lot of good silver cards. I'm looking around, kind of comparing the stats. We don't need any guards or off guards or forwards or anything like that. Like, I looked at Marcus. What's his name? Marcus Thornton. I looked at Marcus Thornton, and I'm like, I think we should get him because he's a fantastic sixth man. But then again, I was like, no, I'll stay away from that for now. I'm sure we can find somebody who can suitably replace him. I lower down, and I see right there. You look at that, Samuel Dalembert for 900 MT. That's a snipe. I had to pick that up immediately. I know there was probably more time, and it's not going to be the hugest flip, but I was like 900 for a Throwback Thursday player. That's nothing. You can make that in one game. So I wanted to go see how much he was actually worth. I have him now. I can decide whether I wanted to flip him or put him in the lineup. And I see he goes for about 2,000. Sorry, I'm not sure what I'm doing there. He goes for about 2,000, as low as 1,700 to about as high as 2,000. So I was thinking maybe about 1,800 is his price, and that's pretty good. But I was like, you know what? Instead of flipping him, let's use him for a little while in domination, grab some extra rebounds, play some extra defense until we get a card to replace him, and then flip him for some extra price. And that, guys, go ahead and check out the block. People will put up prices for cards that they just don't care about, and you can snag them and return them. I guarantee you 100% chance you can flip that Samuel Dallenberg for over 1,000. With a 10%, the worst you can do is break even if you sell him for 1,000. Ooh, 1,000. If you sell him more, he's even better. You look at his ratings. His ratings aren't extremely great, but they're good. They're solid. So we decided to put him in the lineup for at least a little while. And by next episode, I can tell you whether we're gonna keep him and play, or we're going to kind of stray away from it and move on. So we're adjusting our lineups now, and basically this is the end of the video. So thanks for watching, guys. This takes forever to make. Editing is crazy, but it's so worth it, and I absolutely love sending these videos out. So please, if you guys are enjoying this, leave feedback. Let us know how we're doing. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay classy. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.